going to continue now. Paul, next question, please.
Thanks, Mark. Ford, are you ready with your question?
You bet, Mark. I'm here in deep red Texas. Houston, where I live, is not quite as red as it used to be, but nevertheless, Donald Trump, of course, is already teasing running in 2024 and wants to freeze, I'm sure, the field for the Republican nomination. I'll give this to you in true or false. Marco Rubio, Tom Cotton, Nikki Haley, or somebody else will say, nope, I'm not freezing my candidacy. I'm running. I can't wait until 2028.
That is, I think, a hugely important and interesting question. And I think that it's going to depend on what exactly Trump does. I'll tell you what I picked up in the last couple of days is it's appeared to most people in Republican politics that the president is going to freeze the field to some extent. I normally try to shy away from all sports metaphors. I already used a football one, but since you're a Texan, I feel it's okay. I think some of the candidates and would-be candidates are relieved because I think Tom Cotton in particular, Ted Cruz in particular, were going to be and may still be super aggressive. You saw them in Iowa. You see Tom Cotton running an ad with, he's paying for it in Georgia. Tom Cotton in particular, I think is going to be a super fast pace setter if Trump gets out of the way. And I think some people like a Nikki Haley, like a Governor DeSantis, maybe like your governor in Texas, who want to think about running, but they don't think, right now that they want to start raising money or going to Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina. So I think some of them will be relieved and will maybe kid themselves into thinking, you know what, Donald Trump says he's going to do it, but in the end he won't. So there'll be room. And in fact, it might be good because he's going to kind of freeze things a little bit. They may be kidding themselves because I think Donald Trump's, more likely to run than not at this point, but he could have legal trouble. He could decide, there are other things he'd rather do. But right now, I think you named two of the three who I think are the most well-positioned, Tom Cotton, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio. I forget, you named one of the other two. I think Nikki those Haley right now are the ones who I think have the most support. If you think about, again, their fingertip deal for the Big Bad Four, their relationship with both grassroots and potentially bundling donors, I think those three have a leg up right now. But there's 18 other names that are not too far behind them. I don't think any of them are prohibitive favorite. For years in the Republican Party, if you wanted to be the presidential nominee, you had to be one of three things. You had to be the incumbent or former vice president. You had to be the person who finished second in the previous round, or you had to have the last name Bush. Trump broke the mold on that. And so now we don't know what is the path to the Republican nomination. Is it through reality TV? Is it through populism? Is it through anger? Is it through appearing over and over on conservative cable TV? We just don't know right now because Trump has so changed the game of how people conceive of the Republican Party. But I think that if he's being aggressive, if he's out there basically saying, I'm the president in exile, I'm going to run, to go to the heart of your question, I don't know that anybody will challenge him directly. But I think it's relatively easy because you've got governor's races. New Hampshire has a governor's race every 2 years. It's the only state with 2-year terms, or one of two states with 2-year terms. So you can go to New Hampshire and campaign. There's a Senate race there as well, I believe. You can go to Iowa and campaign. There's a governor's race. So I think you'll see people be active, but maybe not being totally genuine about their motives. But for a lot of them, I do think he'll freeze the field. And to have his handpicked person at the RNC, which controls so much of the apparatus in the early parts of the quadrennial cycle, I think it's a big advantage. And I think the person who it freezes, of course, most of all is Mike Pence, who would like to run. But as long as Trump's making noises, I don't see that happening at all. Thank you for the question. I appreciate it.
You bet.